if something hurts, like I have a pulled muscle here, it's the way, with the hip replacements. So if I put it here, I turn it around this way and all, and it just disappears immediately. And the overall pain from everything, it's a whole lot less. And all, I still have pain and I still take medication for that, but I'm able to take less now. And I think that's really something.
Hey, Wanda, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Oh, hi. Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're so cute. I love your little accent.
Oh, thank you. I'm originally from Kentucky, even though I used to live in Northern Virginia.
Very nice. So Wanda, can you start off by telling the listeners a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Well, I guess I have to start out, first of all, when I started having problems with my health, which was in 2012, and that's when I had to use a walker. I had major problems. I couldn't hardly even use a walker because my legs kept folding in on me and all, and my arms were just worn out from trying to raise myself up. I'm a reading specialist, so I had to go and get groups of children every 30 minutes, and I could be, and all. So one day at work, um, I started crying. I mean, just cried so hard because I was in so much pain. And so I called my principal and I said, I have to go to the doctor. So there was this really nice man who walked me to the vehicle, and I couldn't hardly get there even with the walker. He said, what can I do to help you? And I said, just lift up on this left side. So he took me to the vehicle and I couldn't get in the vehicle. So he turned me around and lifted me up into the seat, and I drove myself to the emergency room that way. And it was horrible. I couldn't do anything for myself at all. And they put me in one of those chairs that I couldn't roll anywhere. I was just stuck in one place.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it was horrible. And when they tried to do like x-rays or a CT scan, I was just delirious with pain and all. So after a long wait, I waited hours, first of all, just sitting in the waiting room, waiting for someone to take care of me. And then when they finally examined me and all, later on, they told me that I had to have bilateral hip replacements. So that's when, in January 2018, is when I had the first one, and it was horrible. I went through so much pain with that, and I went through nurses and PTs laughing at me and everything. My
Really?
legs didn't work at all. I couldn't walk, and they were just standing there laughing at me and all. And
That's
yeah,
horrible, Wanda.
it was. I went through so much with all this. So then let's see, I was going to therapy for that, and my therapist said, Wanda, I think your other hip is going out on you. So you should consider having the other hip replacement too. So while you have insurance, she said. So I had that one checked out and it needed to be done too. So 4.5 months after I did the first one, I had to have the second one done.
Wow.
And so with that one, I think I had a near-death experience because all I remember is after the operation is I was like reared back and I saw only the ceiling, and I said, Jehovah God, help me. And they put me out, I guess. I didn't know if I was in the operating room or the recovery room. I still don't know to this day. And so then I do remember, though, them rolling me to the room, and I was just like, and I didn't even feel like I was in this world, going through
Wow.
I was so drugged up. So then that day, that evening, I didn't know who was in the room with me. I thought people from my school were there, but they weren't. It was just the family. And then that night, my oxygen just kept going so low that I was, I think I was about to die then. So
Wow.
then after that, I went to a rehab. And I stayed there for, I think, 10 or 11 days and all. And I did really well with that one. That hip replacement, I was able to do a lot more. With the first one, I had to have home health, and the leg didn't move, and the therapist had to move it for me, so I was so glad that with the second one that it did. And so then to move on with this, the next year, well, first of all, September of that year, I had to have the first one operated on again because it got an infection. And then it was shallow, though. It wouldn't heal. It was just a shallow infection. And then the next year I'd had to have back surgery again. That was the second one. So that was
Jeez.
2019. And also in 2 years, I had 4 operations, and it just about fried my brain. I'm telling you, the anesthesia, it was, I couldn't think or anything. And I was so glad when I started, I've got my thought process back to where I could communicate better with people and all. So that was, the history on all that. But then, let's see, I started teaching school at home because we were shut down for COVID. And so I was teaching reading groups online. And I said, I'm supposed to teach reading groups online? How in the world can I do that? And all, but I did it and all. But then after that 1 year, I knew I wasn't able to go back to work. So I retired because working, I was in so much pain. And here I could lay down when I wanted to and all. So I did retire. But I started attending meetings with this humanitarian group. And first, no, I got to tell you this part first. I met David Ian Rogers from the Dr. Charlie Ward show. I hired him to cure my traumas because I was discriminated against a lot at school and all by teachers and a custodian and all about where I parked and everything,
Wow.
park up close and all. So I was discriminated against. And this one lady, she yelled at me because she had to take me up and down the lift and all because we didn't have an elevator at school. And some of the classes that I taught were upstairs. So anyway, that's why I hired David Ian Rogers. He's from the UK and he works with people with traumas. So, and it really works, what he did, it really works, and all. But he told me, he said, you're going to be really tired after this because you have to do a lot of breathing exercises, because when you bring your thoughts to the forefront here, then you have to do the breathing and all, and it makes you tired. So I saw him praying during that time while I was doing what he told me to do. So he was praying for me too. But when he told me I would be very tired, I had no idea what I would go through. So I went through seeing different things. I dreamed about gold just flowing. I saw beautiful pastel lights one morning. I saw an angel, flashes
Wow.
of an angel and things like that. But the reason I brought his name up is because he referred me to this humanitarian group. And he said, just try it out and see what you think. So I did. So I attended meetings for probably over a year for sure. And then I was also working with another humanitarian group. I'm not going to bring up names, of these humanitarian groups, and also I was watching the videos with Love One Society, which I'm with now. And that's the one that I really want to work with and all. So I said to myself, though, I said, I'm going to get up out of this sick bed and I'm going to work for God. I'm going to do what I can to work for God
Aw,
and to do
nice.
something for humanity, because years ago I prayed to God and I said, please, God, let me do something really big for you. So I know that this is it, you
Isn't
know.
that great?
So yes, so that's where I am now, and I'm so glad that Love One Society and Quantum Financial, I'm a QFS, that Quantum Healing Systems merged. It's all working out together. So that we can be healed, and then we can heal humanity and all. So I love that, and bring humanity into the golden age. So I want to be a part of all of that and all.
Yes,
That's my
indeed.
dream and all. But getting back to, um, the QHS, Quantum Healing Systems, when I received my device and all, and this is the old black one, right?
Right.
We will have a nice white one in the very near future. This one, it really helps me a lot.
Cool. What does it help you with?
I have a lot of different things wrong with me. And one thing is with the tarsal tunnel syndrome. I thought I was almost to the point to where I had to have injections again in my feet. So I
Oh,
didn't
no.
have to have those. I feel like that it really helps me. I feel like my fibromyalgia is nearly gone. I mean, once in a while I can tell in my elbow here area here, but as far as the rest of it, I feel like it's gone or nearly gone. And
Aw,
if something helps, if something hurts, like I have a pulled muscle here, it's the way, with the hip replacements that I have to put my pants on with socks and pants. And the way I have to do it, sometimes it pulls at me here. So if I put it here, I turn it around this way and all, and it just disappears immediately. And if I'm hurting through here, I put it there and it disappears immediately. Um, let's see what else. My allergies. I don't have allergies much anymore, unless I don't use the mask when I'm mowing, and then all this dust piles up, piles up in the air, and I'm breathing it and all. But yeah, with that, um, I have headaches and dizziness, which I didn't used to have, but when I do have those, and that started when we started going through the ascension problems, the symptoms that we have.
right. Mm-hmm.
And but if I have the headache, I'll lay down in the bed and I'll put it up here, like I'll have a pillow here, and I'll put
Yeah.
this on my head. And it takes a few minutes for that, but I can feel it working right away. I can feel the waves
Oh, wow.
working. Yeah.
That's so cool, Wanda.
Yeah. The one thing that it's really, really helped me with a lot, and that is the TMJ. Uh, a while back, I was eating and I couldn't open my mouth and all. So I learned that frequencies worked a lot, so I bought frequency patches and I put them here, put them back here and here. But to take them off, it hurt so bad to take them off. But it did give me some relief. So, I've had a little bit of experience with frequency patches. And again, I'm not going to bring up any companies or try to promote anybody and all, but that helped me so much. But this, I don't even have to have frequency patches at all. Just
How cool.
it's gone completely. And so yeah, and the overall pain from everything, it's a whole lot less. And I still have pain and I still take medication for that, but I'm able to take less now. And I think that's really something,
Oh,
that I
yeah.
less and all.
And how long have you had your device?
I've only had it since May 2nd.
Wow. So less than 2 months and you've had all of that.
Well, it's been a little bit more, just a little over 8 weeks and all. So yeah, I
That's cool.
I think I'm very sensitive to frequencies, and for me they really work. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm so thankful for that.
Well, clearly you're a wonderful receiver, Some people put
That's
up a wall, but some people are open and so it allows it to come through them, you know?
yeah,
So that's
thank
beautiful.
yeah.
So now we're approaching the Q arc and we're just right around the corner from, launching that where all of us get to take all the wisdom and knowledge and experience and apply it to a healthy 30-year-old body. What excites you about that?
Well, first of all, I want to be a smaller person. I've gained weight with all this pain and all that I've been through. And I'm not used to being the size that I am. And I'm really hoping that when I come out of the Q arc that I'm smaller. And this being frequencies from a 30-year-old female, I really think that that's possible.
Hmm.
Um, I will be so happy not to live this life that I live with the pain and or before using the device, it was just really terrible. And that would be wonderful. I can't even up until I started using the device, I couldn't travel anywhere except to a store and or to the doctor and back. So now, I'm starting to visit my niece and I want to visit my daughter and all. So I want to spend time with my family and all. So that's some of the things. So you want to know what I want to do after QArc? Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking?
What are you excited about? We get a
Well,
do-over.
okay, with the do-over, I want to run. See, I haven't been able to run all this time. And I always loved that, just taking off and just running through the yard or wherever I want to go so I want to run. So I had this dream and I dreamed that I could run and all of a sudden I'm like, I can run and it doesn't hurt. And oh, I must already be manifesting this and all. But that's one thing. And I want to travel the world. Um, and want to be able to do my projects with Loved One Society and to include quantum healing systems. And I would like to have healing centers. And although I live in Virginia, I've thought about putting them here, but I'm sort of thinking about I would like to be in the Johnson City, Bristol, Kingsport, Tennessee area, because that area would service a lot of people, coming from all directions there. So, it's really grown up a lot, a lot of businesses and all. Now it's unbelievable when I go there, how it's like its own little city. So yeah, I think that would be a wonderful place to put it, all.
Cool. You
I
can
would
do
like,
that.
yeah, I would like to play musical instruments. Also, I like to play the violin and maybe the piano and all. But yeah, I think that I may want to date again. I haven't wanted to bother someone else with my pain. That's the one thing. It's just like, no, I don't. I just can't put someone through me saying, oh, this hurts and this hurts. So I may want to date again and possibly marry, or to just have friends, that I can travel with. So who knows what all of this is going to bring.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That's what they were talking about, doing a QHS dating site for all the people post QARC.
Oh, I
So
know.
because that was funny. I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, if I'm 30 years old again, I can't date a 30-year-old because we won't have the same mentality or anything.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
oh, yeah, it
Right.
would have
Exactly.
adults that's basically your same, what would you say, chronological age?
Yeah, I think it would just because most of us are like-minded, and so we get things outside the norm. And so I feel like it would be just so much more synchronicity than just trying to find somebody else your age. And plus, yeah, I've been married 33 years, so I'm good with my guy. I just need to make sure he goes through the arc because he's 64.
Mhm.
So, but once he sees the, proof of concept and other people have done it, he'll do it. So he just needs that verification. So that'll be fun.
Yes, I look at you all the time and I say, why does she need the Q-arc? She's so beautiful. You look so young, anyway. So,
Well, thank you.
but we have our own reasons why
Oh,
we want
yeah.
everything.
And we want healthy cells and longevity. I mean, I have plenty of physical and, internal things. I mean, I have problems with my fingers, and I'm active, so I have all of that. I used to run, can't run. I'm bow-legged and pigeon-toed. So I want all these things fixed, in me, so I can do my work as well. And my humanitarian project's really going to be to stay with QHS and help the company in whatever capacity Cynthia would have me. And, of course, do the RSS and a healing center here. But I really want to stay in this role because I think God gave it to me, honestly.
Yeah, and I have, I put in to help, to be a monitor and then be a leader in with the key project and all. So I'm also considering going to Utah and working there, to help out with that.
Cool.
You
That's
know,
great. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like we are growing and we are all on the ground floor. I mean, think about this. We have what, thousands of members now, but someday we're going to have millions, you
yes.
know?
So we're all
So,
different, we that's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's super exciting. So in closing, Wanda, what would you like to leave the listeners with?
I don't know, to just get on board and join QHS so you can use the QARC also and have a new life, have a do-over.
I know.
I don't know.
Well, I just want to thank you so much because you're just a lovely lady, and it's just such a joy to be able to get to know you better and to see your beautiful smiling face.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you for everything that you do. I really appreciate it.
It's just a
Thank you.
pleasure. And I look forward to having you back post QARC for part 2.
That sounds great. Thank you, Tracy. Bye-bye.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.